Hello and welcome back to the channel. Recently I've been doing performance videos for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, and this video is no different. If you are experiencing stuttering with Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, stay tuned and hopefully this tip will help you out. So in my last video, I talked about a very big thing, which is reducing your frame rate within Flight Sim 2024 and hopefully getting things to be a lot smoother within the sim and maybe a potential frame boost. Well, while it helped me substantially with the FPS, I did have other issues, and that is primarily the stutters increased. So when I was panning left or right, or sometimes even stationary, I would have this massive spike with the demand of the graphics card. And I've been trying to figure out why that issue has been occurring. And as I searched the internet, yeah, the internet can be very dangerous. As I searched the internet, I've come across a bunch of different ways to potentially fix these issues. Now, before I go any further, understand that some of the things I give you for tips in here is not my own personal things I found. These are things I've gathered through forums such as the Flight Sim forum or on some Reddit channel or Reddit subreddit or through Discord, some Discord channel. Okay, so none of this is my own homebrew situation I found to make work, right? These are things I've gathered from the community, and I do these videos so that I can reach more people, and I only do the videos if I've seen some sort of plausible improvement on my side that isn't placebo, right? You don't want to send out things to the community if it is something that might not actually be doing anything, right? You want to actually be successful. And of course, there are so many different variables when it comes to hardware for Flight Sim, and Asobo and Microsoft do their very best, in my opinion, to try to make it, optimize the best it can. But because of all those variables, it is very difficult to do that. We don't know if you're limited in memory. We don't know if you're limited in your hard drive speed. Is it your graphic card or is it your CPU? If you're on a high-end system, it's typically going to be your CPU. And for me, it definitely is the CPU. I have a 14700K, and because Flight Sim doesn't take advantage of all the cores on the processor, there is that performance drop because of it. So that's just something you have to deal with. But the tip I introduced last time, which is to limit your FPS within Flight Sim's control panel that's kind of hidden away, it did bring in another issue, and that is stuttering. Okay, so I scoured the internet, tried to figure out what's going on, and I come across something that might be beneficial, and that is rebar. So if you don't know what rebar is, it's essentially something that's on your graphic card that allows more memory, I believe, to get through to your system. And while it works for most titles extremely well, it seems to be having issues with Flight Sim 2024. And so in this video, I'm going to show you how to disable rebar just for Flight Sim 2024. Now understand the following, and that is rebar is available, I believe, for 30 series, but I know for sure for the 40 series and the 50 series. Also understand if you don't have a rebar accessible, it means either you don't have a supported graphic card, which is primarily for NVIDIA card holders, or you don't have it enabled in the BIOS, your motherboard BIOS. And I'm not going to show you how to do that in this video because you may hit the wrong button and that could cause potential issues for your system. So if you don't have it enabled on your system and you have a card that is supported, I would recommend searching the internet, go directly to the manufacturer and see if they can assist you with enabling rebar. But by default, most of the time, as long as you have the latest BIOS, it is enabled and ready to go. So what you're going to need is a program called NVIDIA Profile Inspector, and that you can get from the link in the description below. It is from GitHub. Once you have that, you will go ahead and extract it and then launch it. And you'll launch it up and it will look like this. This will be in the global driver profile. Okay, so if you change anything here, it's going to affect every single title that is on your system. And if some of these options look familiar, it is because it is essentially the NVIDIA control panel with a few more options, actually a lot more options. So if you change one of these settings here in the Manage 3D settings from the NVIDIA control panel, they will be changed in the profile inspector as long as, of course, you save it. Okay, so as my previous video, I made some changes here and they are reflected in the profile. But we don't want to change anything globally in this video. We just want to look at Flight Sim 2024. Okay, so to do that, you go up here where it says global, click on that and type in Microsoft Flight Sim, and it will pop up right here on the bottom, 2024. Now this will change settings just for Flight Sim 2024, no other titles. So if you scroll on down here, and we're looking for common 5, we're going to see rebar enable, and all you have to do is click on disabled. Well, it's going to say enabled for you likely, but then change it to disabled and then apply settings. And this will disable rebar. And from my understanding, this seems to be an issue with Flight Sim 2024 for whatever reason. I don't know enough information about it, but I do know rebar does work for most titles out there. And maybe Asobo Microsoft will get this fixed up eventually. But for now, this seems to reduce the stutters on my system. Now, I'm also going to jump into another way of potentially increasing your performance within Flight Sim 2024. And I did not touch on it in my previous video, which I found interesting because this could benefit that video as well. But, so we're going to do it here, and that is using a program called DLSS Swapper. Okay, and this is a really easy to use piece of software that allows you to swap a file to the latest version or to a different version that DLSS uses and FrameGen uses on your system. And what's really cool is you can do it for individual titles. So you can see here's some titles I have on my system here, and it is super easy. The link to get this is also in the description down below. So we're again focusing just on Flight Sim 2024. You can see though I do have it enabled for Flight Sim 2020, and here's the current version I have installed on that. Now you may have to figure out what version works best for you, but either way, how to do it is simple. Tap on the icon and then tap on the one you want to change. So DLSS, tap on that and simply tap the one you want and swap. And this will swap it. It will swap just that one file in your folder to the version you select. And then go ahead, run the sim, and see what happens. If you're getting CTDs, if you're getting system crashes, if you're seeing a bunch of artifacts, performance drop, swap to a different version and test again. So this will require potentially multiple reboots of Flight Sim 2024. And as it shows at the top, you can click on reset and that will go back to the default DLSS file installed for Flight Sim 2024. And you can do the exact same thing for frame generation. So click on that button and choose it as well. Personally, for me, on my system, I found that 3.10.1 for the DLSS and 3.0.2 work best for me. Again, this is going to be different on every single system, and it does take some trial and error to see which one works best for you. But hopefully these two tips have helped you get a little bit better performance out of Flight Sim 2024. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you for the next one. Take care.